after morning. How are we all doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/Skrebels. My name is Graham Day, and I'm joined by the man that we call Mr. Ice Cream. Yay! And Mrs. Ice Cream. Yeah, and Baby's here as well. Nice.
Good afternoon.
I'll read. Welcome in. If you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. If you don't know who we are, if you don't know what this is, well, do you know what? It's all right, I'll tell you. My name is Graham, this is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. If we do say so ourselves. Hey, how you doing? Nice. Yeah, we do go live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads each and every single weekday with The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. If we do say so ourselves. But it's not just about what we do on Twitch. Yes, we do go live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, but we also turn the live stream into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, and Spotify, and SoundCloud, and Google Play. So there's lots of places where over 130,000 people have watched and listened to this podcast on demand. So if you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. We will give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. And I'm still looking at this camera, but you're over there, so I'll keep looking over there now. We want to give you our thoughts and impressions, but we then want to hear your thoughts and impressions, and then your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. So if you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. Speaking about being in the chat, let's see who's here. We've got quite a few people in already. Lotus was in about I think 6:30 this morning, just chatting away to himself. Nice, you'll see it. Timeless was in, and bless him, Timeless came in at 2:05, said first. No.
Yeah, Lotus was there way like you said, like 11 o'clock this morning.
It was like, I've on mine. I've got 1:15 going breakfast. so yes. How we doing? I can see. Where do we? Oh, there we go. I can see JMK's in the chat. I can see Plum Rico's in the chat. Good day to you all. We've got Vernon as well. Good morning-ish.
Morning,
everyone. Lake's here. What up, y'all? How we all doing? Poor Bibby getting all the abuse. We love you, Bibby. It's all right. You've got some stuff to your ear as well, by the way.
What is it?
I don't know, you've got just like on the top of your ear.
Bit of fluff.
You got it.
Oh, what is that?
That's why I'm not touching it. I would have got it.
Oh, what is that? Is it a knit?
Earbugs.
It's not. It's not a knit. It's not a knit. It's not a knit.
It's not. So yeah, anyway, socially distanced podcast. How we doing? How are we all doing? Are you all okay? You all okay? Welcome in. Just a quick reminder, because Tito mentioned it in the chat. Do we have 3 million followers? Yes, we do.
Yes,
we do have 300,000 followers on social media. Do you know what? Most people didn't even notice that as well. Most people are like, fuck yeah.
I didn't.
Like, see, good people are out there going, do you know what? I'm just going to share that post. The knobheads of the world.
Or like,
to be fair, Lake noticed it. Tito saw Lake notice it and tried to make it look like he noticed it as well. He didn't see it for himself.
Obviously.
Gosh, honestly. Okay. Anyway, how are we all doing? Are you all good? If you're in the chat, please do feel free to pipe up and let us know if you are here, because we have a big old show for you today. We have 5 decent stories to go through. The first one is about Take-Two. Just to prove that we aren't entirely biased or anything. It's not even to prove it. It's just by chance. So obviously we're super hyped. Thank you to Take-Two for providing us with copies of WWE 2K22, but also it's not going to buy any favour, sorry. So we are going to report the news as it is happening. And today's lead story, it focuses on Take-Two, but not in that sort of light. So lawsuits have been filed against Take-Two for loot boxes in NBA 2K. So they've been accused of unfair, deceptive, and unlawful practices. So that's where we will kick things off today. We'll then jump into our second story about a new Dead Space remake. Developer live stream is coming on Friday. So if you want to see more about Dead Space remake,
and we do.
Goddamn right we do. We'll see that live stream on Friday. We'll go through what the article says on that. I'm just getting rid of these cookies because fuck you, Ziff Davis. You ain't getting none of my cookies. Get out of here. I mean, you've probably probably got it all from, just my Facebook account. But whatever, it's fine. We'll then speak about Forspoken, which has been delayed by almost 5 months. I think it was Timeless that shared that in the Discord. GTA 5 for new-gen consoles will be 50% off at release.
Only on PlayStation. More on that soon.
Ooh. And then finally, we'll talk about the fact that Bethesda is working on a 5-year roadmap for Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Before all of that, though, Couple of things.
Yep.
First of all, I usually jump in with one reminder that I'm going to pause for a second. Just want to remind you that !insert coin. We are going to be streaming over on Insert Coin's channel in a few weeks' time. Official Insert Coin. If you do want to join us over on official Insert Coin's channel, please feel free to do that. If you don't know who Insert Coin are, they're good friends of the channel. We represent Insert Coin. Because we like Insert Coin clothing.
Like you are doing now.
Yeah, well, I actually am. I'm
Double bagging.
Yeah, so let me just take off my Insert Coin, The Last of Us Part 2 jacket. I'll just straighten it out, and I'll just lay it down here where you can see my Insert Coin Streets of Rage t-shirt. Yeah. Do you know? Do you want to see my Insert Coin? Nope. It's a bit chilly. I might put that back on.
Yeah, it's freezing in here.
So yeah, we do stream over on Insert Coin's channels. We will be streaming on Insert Coin later in the month.
What we're playing?
Don't know. Maybe some speaking about Take-Two. Maybe some WWE 2K. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I don't know. Maybe some Streets of Rage.
Who knows? Who knows?
So yeah, that wasn't meant to be product placement. That's what I was wearing today. So there you go. So yes, we do represent Insert Coin. So do feel free to join us over on their channel. !Insert Coin will give you the link. It's official Insert Coin on Twitch. Do go and follow them. It's not just us that stream there. There's a whole team of streamers that do take turns streaming on their channel. So nice. Also. As well as that.
Ooh.
!Loot drop. Whew. I'm out of breath now after getting naked. Honestly, it takes a little bit of clothes off. Knackered.
Poor Danielle.
When you've been ill for like a week. Just Captain Fungus and mucus over here. Ooh. Anyway, !Loot drop. We do a giveaway once a month where one subscriber bags themselves a prize. That draw usually takes place on a Monday. It didn't take place yesterday because, one, we were super busy, two, I also forgot. So, however, Bibby did export all of the names. So, am I good to...
Yeah.
Nice. So Bibby did export all of the names of everyone that was a subscriber at 3 o'clock yesterday. He did his bit, I didn't do mine. Purely because I wanted to draw it on stream for everyone. Yeah. And I didn't forget at all.
It wasn't a recommendation. This morning, oh shit, yeah, no worries. We'll do it on stream.
So yeah,
Can you grab that mouse? That whatever that is over there, that shit that comes up in the bottom right hand corner telling us how warm it is outside and all the news that comes up.
Garbage. It's gone. So yeah, we're going to do the loot drop right now. So that is the list of everyone that was a sub at 3 p.m. yesterday. All the names in the list. Give it a shuffle a few times so you can see. wheelofnames.com, not our website. This is all just random stuff. So everyone is in there. One person will bag themselves a prize. This month, it's an ICU blackout baseball cap. If you've already got one, then it sucks to be you. No, I'm joking. You get to double up. Nice. Or pass it on to a friend. It's up to you. So we will do that draw now. This is the March giveaway. We do have another one every single month. The first Monday of the month we do a draw. So if you're a sub now, you will be in with next month's. I think you'll be in for next month's. I mean, it's got to be. It's the 8th, so the chances are, the 4th. So if you're a sub on Monday the 4th of April, you will be in the next draw. So anyone that subscribes between now and then will be in for the next month's draw. Yes. So without further ado, click it to spin it. Ooh.
Press Control or Enter, so I'll just click spin.
Oh. We've got audible feedback in the studio. And the winner is...
Asim. No.
Asim.
Hey, there we go. Oh my god, by a pixel. So it was robbed by a pixel.
The thing is, like, Toby's already got one. Nice. Okay, there you go. Mr. T. Mr. Tassim Anvia himself, noted industry leaker, has bagged himself an ICU blackout cap. And I'm quite happy that he didn't stop on Toby, because I'd like someone that doesn't have a hat already to have got one. And Mr. T, has he?
No, he hasn't.
Okay, nice.
But I don't think I've ever seen Asim wear a hat. What do you reckon, flat or curve?
Good question.
I think he's got to be curve, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's got style.
Has he? I've seen him wear cat boots. I haven't seen anyone get a cat boot since Lukaku played for United.
He's got style. What we say? Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That is this month's loot drop. Shout out to Mr. T, Mr. Tassim Anvia for bagging himself some cabbage front gam. Nice.
Yeah.
Let me scroll back up. I did see. Did I see a wild candy bear in the chat? I did. I am here for the scoop.
What's going on with screen, Graham?
Maybe screens of the Matrix.
Is it?
It's fine on screen. It's just your actual screen looks dead.
Yeah, I think it's time for a new laptop, Graham.
Just a tad. Candy Bear, how you doing? Let me see if I missed anything else. So, is that why the WWE version of the same thing is offline only, I wonder? Take-Two story. I don't
know what that means.
Neither do I.
What does that mean? Elaborate.
Hyperfixation at its finest. I don't know what that means either. God! Do you know what? I'm going to catch you up. That is not Graham. Bibby and Graham have never been in the same room. It's because I was chatting in West chat earlier. I was like, hey, he was like, oh shit, it's Graham. And then, or Bibby. Don't know, it could be either. They've never seen him in the same room. I was like, have we not?
No, we definitely have.
That's why whenever we go for the high five, there's a slight disconnect. My hand's there, Bibby's hand's there.
Is it somewhere with a green screen?
Styling it out, Graham. I love it. I don't remember what I styled out.
I imagine the coat,
but it just seems a bit more recent than that. This is the loot drop kind of thing. Like, I don't know. Reroll, no GG. The Take-Two story you're leading with is regarding them getting in trouble over loot boxes. Okay. I get you. Do you know what? Without further ado, we will jump into that story if Bibby can get his laptop working. I don't know.
Yeah, I just give it the old.
That's it. Technical.
That works.
None of that turn it off and on again. Just wobble your screen a bit. Go check out Candy Bear API error. Yep, do feel free to check out Candy Bear API.
Before that Twitch streamer thing needed a code, which is why I left a mouse keyboard there and then completely forgot to tell you when you walked in the room. So
nice.
That is exactly why.
Nice.
That didn't work.
Okay, well, let me jump into this one. This is our first news story of the day. We will fix up the API thing, so it should work for the next time we were on. This is the lead story. A lawsuit has been filed against Take-Two for loot boxes in NBA 2K. This is written by Ed Nightingale at Eurogamer, and it says, in a lawsuit over loot boxes in NBA 2K, publisher Take-Two has been accused of unfair, deceptive and unlawful practices. As reported by Bloomberg via GamesIndustry.biz, the lawsuit was filed on behalf of a minor and their guardian at the Winnebago Country Circuit Court in January before moving to the Illinois Northern District Court a month later. Loot boxes, widely linked to gambling, are featured in the best-selling NBA 2K series of basketball games. The lawsuit states defendants' unfair, deceptive and unlawful practices, including illegal gambling practices, deceive, mislead and harm consumers. Loot boxes, quote, psychologically distance players from the financial consequences, according to the complainant, especially as, for minors, they're often paid for using a parent's credit card. They appear desirable, but minors may not understand the link between virtual and real-world spending or know that in-game purchases are non-refundable. At least $5 million in damages have been requested by the plaintiff. I bought a couple of loot boxes. I want $5 million. A Take-Two spokesperson declined to comment to Bloomberg. Research from April last year claimed a robustly verified link between loot boxes and gambling, and that they are structurally and psychologically similar. Loot boxes have been widely used in the FIFA series, something EA Chief Experience Officer Chris Bruzzo discussed with Eurogamer back in October, is the final bit of wording within that. We don't need to talk about that bit, though. So we'll jump back closer to us. Hey, how you doing? Hey. So Take-Two has been taken to court. What are your thoughts, babe?
5 million. Like I've. Do you know what? I'll be on the consumer side for this, and it's not. I'm not. I don't usually like taking sides. I like to be quite impartial. I like to go with both sides. But for this one, I'll definitely take the consumer side of it. Their son or daughter, whoever it might be, taking their credit card or their debit card out of their purse and then spending their money within the game. Right there, kid's grounded. Like, what are you doing that for? Obviously, I don't want to. Now I have a child. I imagine this is going to happen to me as well.
The thing is, that article doesn't even say that as such. It's basically because the parents are paying for it, even if it's like allowed. The parents have gone and put it on. They've just gone, oh, my parents have just got me things and they've gone now. They've not realised, because they don't have the link to the money and the money to the work that's been done to get the money. They're just seeing it as oh, that's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do another one, please.
Yeah. So say they lost £100, whatever. What makes them think that $5 million in compensation is in any way, shape, or form viable. This just stinks of. If this was in the paper, it would 120% have a compo face next to it. Like this for me is it feels like a non-story.
Oh,
purely
no,
because
I wasn't sad enough then. Sorry.
this feels for me like we've covered loot boxes and stuff like that on this podcast a million times and microtransactions. But do you know what? For the sake of this, I'm actually going to side with NBA because I feel like with how you put it then. Because it doesn't directly say that there's some theft or someone's decided to use their mum's credit card or whatever it is. We don't really know the whole story about how someone is using the loot boxes. For all we know, they might not have even spent any money, but they've just found it. Oh my God, there's like a lottery within the game. I haven't spent any money, but give me money because I have found this and nobody else in the world has clearly found this before.
I think it's not so much that. I think it's more this person has gone, this is fucking gambling. And someone's like, we've all said similar things in the past, and they've gone, do you know what? This is actual gambling because my child, a minor, is playing this game which has absolute gambling in it. My child can't go and put a fiver on a horse, but my child can put $5 into this game and then spend it in the same sort of way. I don't like that. I feel like you need to be stopped. And the 100 million or 5 million or whatever fucking
5 million, please.
Yeah, I mean that's just it. That's ridiculous, obscene. But I think that's probably one of those things as, okay, if we go, we demand 150 quid in damages. Okay, shut up, go away. That's fine. Do you know what? We'll settle out of court. We'll give you 200 quid to just shut up now.
But I mean, that's a result.
But that's not a result for the world, the greater good. So 5 million, that almost feels like it's a pay attention sort of figure requested kind of thing. See, I'm fully behind the not the 5 million, but the principle of
of course.
Get rid of loot boxes entirely.
Yeah, I don't think there would be anybody in the world that doesn't say that. I do feel like there is a way in, I said this yesterday, I do think there is a way for you to have microtransactions within the game that are well practiced and a viable option. But when it comes to stuff like this, I don't think so.
Yeah, microtransactions and loot boxes is different ends of the world, kind of thing. Loot boxes is like, do you want to pay for a chance? No, I don't want to pay for a chance. I want to pay for an item, and that's microtransactions. I mean, obviously, a microtransaction can be used to fund a roll of the dice. So you are paying for chance. Paying for chance is not paying for anything.
But I mean, like you say, if asking for an obscene amount of money, it's managed to have an article written on them. Obviously, it's been featured on this show, but I think if it sounds like a finder's fee, it's like they're the first people in the world to come across loot boxes as a parent, and they want to take someone to court.
It kind of, I mean, I don't know how it works, like with class action stuff. I wonder if that sum is to try not only generate momentum to get it picked up by press, but generate momentum to get it picked up by other people. That because if loads of little cases amount to nothing, let's go back to the Bugs Life reference that I threw in the other week. So all the little ants getting picked on by Hopper and his cronies, the big grasshoppers. Yeah, okay, one grasshopper versus one ant. The grasshopper being any media/video game company, in this case 2K, the ant being the consumer and the kid at the bottom. Okay, you fight that ant, that hopper, you're going to get squashed. All of the ants combined, okay, bit of a different story now.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that 5 million is that sort of like signal of intent of, okay, if you don't stop this, then other people will join with us and make you stop this. I mean, I don't quite know what the next steps are there, because I think 5 million paid to one person because your kid spent a few quid extra, or your kid has been exposed to gambling. That doesn't really stack up. But if it's for to quote another highly political text now, this one is Hot Fuzz for the greater good, the greater good. But if it's just one of those moves that's for the greater good, then at that point I'm on board. So it's kind of one of those things. Should one person get 5 million quid because the game has gambling in it? No, because everyone is subject to this. Should that 5 million quid be used as a threatening device to make companies stand up and look at that? I would be very, very, very much against getting rid of any forms of loot box. I do not like loot boxes at all.
See, Tito said there, I think I've said this before, but my friend's 5-year-old unlocked her phone. She didn't know that he knew her PIN. Launched the Minions app and spent £800 in 5 minutes. Should never be possible. I agree, but that isn't the person's fault. Like, that someone has taken their phone, logged into something that doesn't belong to them, and you spent money. Like, that's nothing to do with the video game company. Like, that person could definitely be using the microtransactions in a fair manner, they might be chucking £5 or £10 in. That's something that they can manage themselves. But if somebody else goes onto your account and starts spending money, that is not malpractice from anyone but the person who's doing it, surely.
It's one of those things, though. It's like if that stream preview is frozen, are we still live? Oh, no,
yeah, we're still live, yeah.
That's one of those things, like, if that game is a Minions game, and this is where we start to get into the ballpark of generalising, is Minions for kids? Because I'm an adult, and I'm pretty much a kid.
Samantha loves it.
So like, it's like, yeah, but should kids have access to it then if it's open for adults? And it's you get all sorts of different ballparky stuff. Not Pirate, Timeless earlier on in the feed said something. There you go. Parental controls. Every console has them. Use them. It's just a matter of, I agree with that sentiment. I'm going to die again. I agree with that sentiment. It's just a matter of, should something like Minions not have some form of safety nets in there where you can't spend more than 30 quid without going, actually, super user control kind of thing.
Well, there is on the Play Store. I don't know if they have it on iPhone again. I owned one 11 years ago, but on the Play Store, for instance, you can put a restraint in there. So if you wanted to only spend £10 a month on it because you knew you was always going to spend more, you can put that in there, and there's no way of taking it off without jumping through a million hoops where it probably isn't worthwhile jumping through those hoops. So there is practices there. It's just whether or not you want to put them in place to stop that from happening.
But then when we get back into the bit of should that level of self-care really be in what's effectively a child's toy? Should that be in there?
The Disney, I know it's not Disney. Who is it that is
Illumination?
That's it. Yeah. Who's to say? Like, I love I've been to the cinema to watch every Minions movie. There has been either a Minions movie or Despicable Me. Yeah. I love the Minions stuff. So who's to say that it's absolutely targeted at kids?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is essentially?
Yeah.
So I mean,
fair enough. It was like Bear in the Big Blue House. I mean, we talked about that before.
But then again,
I love Bear in the Big Blue House.
Adults could still watch that. But the point is, it's something that is still open to children.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. I mean, you could say that for everything. Football games, for instance, football is for all ages,
and that has a similar sort of problem.
Yeah.
Like, so if I jump back up, Code Red, where are you? I spent 80 quid on FIFA and got nothing. Can you get me a refund too, please? Exactly. But like, you spent 80 quid on FIFA and got nothing. Someone could spend 80 quid. Like, if that kid has spent 800 quid in 5 minutes, you just know that there's like a £100, like with anything, you'll get a 79 pence version, a 1.99, a 14.99, a 50, and an 80 quid or whatever. That kid's just gone, boop, 80 quid, boop, 80 quid, boop, 80 quid. And we are stepping slightly into a different realm there. That's functional system versus should a game have it. Do I believe that parental controls should be used to stop that sort of stuff? Yes, I believe if you've got a system and you're using it wrong, then that's on you. It's like going to a petrol station, having a glug of the petrol and then collapsing, and then like going, actually, I drank that and you didn't stop me. It's like, it's not drinkable. What are you doing? But that's not how it's meant to be used. Use it properly. That's on you. It's like laws. You are meant to know the laws. If you break it and go, well, I didn't know I was breaking the law, that's your job to find out. So in that sort of sense, systems having parental controls, I'm fully agreed with that. You can't just get away with things because you're ignorant. That said, I still support this user because they're trying to get rid of loot boxes in video games because it is gambling. As that article mentioned, if I go back to it, where did it say? It had something about how it was psychologically similar and all sorts of stuff like that. There's been tests done into it. Research from April last year claimed a robustly verified link between loot boxes and gambling, and that they are structurally and psychologically similar. And if we are allowing loot boxes for kids in football games and so on like that, or basketball games, as this article is, then we are building up learned behaviour. We are setting them up for a future structurally and psychologically that is tied to gambling. So I feel it should. The reason gambling you can't go into a bookies at 16 years old, at 12 years old, at 5 years old, is because it's not behaviour that you should be learning at that age. You've not got the emotional and mental grounding.
I was going to a pub, but there's always kids in pubs. I was fucking brought up in a pub.
Same.
So it's like I said though, like how can you? Us as adults are looking at it from a perspective of save the children. Do you know what I mean? Like we obviously don't want this intrusive kind of thing in there. We also don't want it in there for people who are vulnerable to this stuff. I've just seen Ben's comment then saying, where is it? I agree in principle with Bit, but they advertise things in such a way that these apps draw the eye to the big transactions, and kids of a certain age won't know the difference. Just, oh, I need that. I as much as I'd love to be able to get behind that as well, I can't. I genuinely can't, because I feel like if you are, you should. And this is going to come back and bite me in the ass. Joseph is absolutely going to run rings around me when he's a little bit older and he actually is conscious enough to know what a controller and stuff is. But I feel like it should be a parent's responsibility to teach them this stuff. Like I was taught this stuff from the. You told me, and you've shared stories before of how Chloe wants to play certain games, and you say, right, I will give you this if you do this, i.e. do your chores around the house and things like that. But I don't understand how me as an adult will potentially be hampered because some little bastard down the road has spent £800 on the mum's mate's card. I don't feel like that is so I shouldn't have to suffer because I have self-control and they don't. What do you do with a pisshead in the pub?
That's not the point though. The point is, like, would you let Joseph at 7 years old just sit in the corner with a pack of 20 pack of Marlboros kind of thing?
Well, no, because I'm a parent.
Because it's bad for his health.
Exactly.
And so's this. So having...
To what extent though?
To what extent? Well, it's to pretty much the same extent, psychological and physical issues that come from gambling. It's a disease.
But I know as a child that gambling is wrong, and I've grown up with that. And I know the world's have changed now.
A lot of kids know that smoking is wrong, but still do it.
Exactly, yeah, of course. But that's the children's decision at the end of the day, whether or not they want to do that. Like I know for a fact the kids in my school were smoking at 13 or 14. I would have had the opportunity to do that, but I didn't.
They still have the opportunity, though. The point is they're making decisions that they aren't really equipped to make, and some will make the wrong decisions.
Yeah, of course they will.
But it's bad for their health. So protecting them when they aren't equipped to make the right decisions as much as possible. It's better to protect them from themselves as much as possible. Some will make the wrong decisions. Some will drink. Some will smoke. Some will whatever.
Yeah.
Some will gamble.
Yeah.
But stopping them, like making it super accessible to gamble. There was a comment. It was NGB's comment a bit further up, the one that you read out, where I think the thing there, they advertise things in such a way that draw the eye to the big transactions, and kids of a certain age won't know the difference. It's kind of like. There would have been fads and trends and fashions, and that could have been, I wanted an Xbox, so you got an Xbox because everyone was getting Xboxes. Yeah. But that was buying a product, whereas now they're not going, buy an Xbox, buy a new game. It's like, okay, buy gambling, and we are selling gambling to kids like it's normal behaviour. When is it? They should be buying packs of stickers, which I suppose is gambling in some sort of a sense. They should be buying fucking McDonald's, which is obviously bad for your health in a different way. But
like you said, buying stickers and packs of Pokemon cards, like with the opportunity that I potentially may have packed something that might be usable in a battle deck. That was the same thing 20 years ago when I was growing up. And
I'm going to stop that bit there because I don't want to go down that avenue because it's different. We've covered that before in the fact that you end up with a card or a sticker.
Of course, yeah.
Whereas
something for your money.
You lose effectively. If you don't get something that's a gold or whatever, you're pretty much, it's dead weight kind of thing. Obviously, SBCs and stuff, they're trying to throw in to try to change the way that works and stuff. But it's still a gamble, a big gamble at the end of the day. Yeah. And like stickers, you could do a like-for-like swap or whatever. But
is it the way I personally see it is I wouldn't want to see microtransactions leave gaming altogether because I think there is definitely a purpose for them there. If anything, I do believe
loot boxes. You mean not microtransactions?
I mean, arguably both.
I mean, the different thing like microtransactions exist in Fortnite. Who got rid of loot boxes back in 2019 because they thought this is toxic behaviour that shouldn't be put in front of children.
Because I know that I have friends who will happily put £30 in a month because they know they can afford that. They get enjoyment out of being able to play Ultimate Team and stuff like that. And while I don't believe I would be the right person to be able to say, do you know what, we're taking that away from you. Your enjoyment that you've been doing for the last 10 years, you're a grown adult, that's how you want to spend your money.
What are they putting that 30 quid into? What game is that?
Like Ultimate Team, for instance.
So they, as adults, have made an educated decision based on their finances, which is fine. But then kids can still access that same content. So the options are then get rid of loot boxes rather than microtransactions, or age restrict the game. And then if kids then are gambling on an age restricted game, then that entirely puts it on the parents.
Absolutely. I mean, I would have absolutely no problems in that. I mean, it'd be unfair to the kids, but fuck it, make them 18 plus. FIFA will obviously hemorrhage in sales, unless you're a parent that goes out and physically buys it for the child. If you've got an unlocked age-appropriate account where a 16-year-old is a 15-year-old is using a 18-year-old account, that's up to the parents, and they're just literally throwing it into. But I would have absolutely no problems in putting that in place because, I don't want to be in an industry where you are being hampered because of somebody else's either negligence or this sounds absolutely horrendous. But if they're an addict of some point, if you are the local pisshead in a pub, for instance, it's the pub's responsibility to stop serving you at a certain point. They're taking your care into consideration. If you as a person want to go home and drink on your own, that's your choice. You are making those decisions. But why should that stop anybody else from going into the pub because you're sat at the bar pissed out your head and the barman won't serve you?
So do you think then, for this to change then, with this specific example, NBA 2K, the only ways what this changes is they completely ditch loot boxes entirely. They themselves badge their game as 18 plus because it's gambling. I mean, they say it's not. Surprise mechanics, I mean, they didn't say that, EA did, but or should it be on the government then? Like, should it be a legal thing that gambling is gambling and gambling is 18 plus? Loot boxes are gambling, so therefore loot boxes should be 18 plus. Should 2K? I mean, 2K technically are operating within the law. Yeah. They're making it's not gambling. It's not recognised officially anywhere. I think Belgium obviously it's got some legislation passed. Yet it's not officially recognised anywhere as gambling. So should it fall on 2K in that sense? Should it be governmental issues then? Should Boris and Co go, okay, that's it. It is gambling. It's facts.
I think you could make a forfeit point in there as well. Any of those, whichever, but there is an alternative way around this. If you are EA and you want to keep your money through Ultimate Team to one side, make a version of the game, but still within FIFA, that you cannot buy packs if you have an account that's under an 18. So you have the full version of the game if you are under 18 and you've got a locked account with parental controls. You can still play Ultimate Team, you can still do whatever you want, but you can't have access to the part where you have to pay to put money into the game or whatever. You just have to, you're kind of handicapping yourself to a degree, and you might only come up against other people who have the same Road to Glory account by for all intents and purposes. But yeah, that's the way that you can do it, because they'll still have the money side of it, where people who are making their own decisions, who are using their own money. I've just seen Ben's comment there said, "Let's make heroin legal." It's up to you then, innit? I mean, whatever. Like, if that'll be up to the government if they really wanted to make that kind of drug legal. But gambling's legal, and so is getting pissed in a pub, and being an alcoholic is legal because it's still classed as a legal substance. Obviously, heroin isn't legal, so that's completely different.
Technically, gambling is legal, and technically, getting pissed is legal, but being drunk is not legal.
Yeah. But getting into debt isn't legal either. Isn't illegal. There is repercussions from it, but you know, and you technically can you get sent to prison for being in debt? I don't think you can you?
You probably can do. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't watch enough of those. Like,
can't pay, will take it away. Yeah. I only know bailiffs going around and saying we're going to take your telly love if you can't pay 200 quid. But I don't think I've ever seen anyone get banged up for it.
I'll pay 10 pence a month for the next 27,000 years, kind of thing. So yeah, I mean,
I don't. It's such a divisive thing, because people will have one agenda and another set of people will have another. I'm always happy to meet in the middle, and I do play devil's advocate more often than not.
Yeah. For those that are watching this, Bibby is full on. He hates children and he wants them all dead. He's not full on fighting the other side of it.
Love you, Joseph.
No, I mean, my solution is, okay, take two to court. That's fine. put them on the bench for 5 million. That's fine. Whatever, you crack on and do that. But that is all a problem because nobody wants to do the right thing. And the right thing for me is it's illegal to gamble. It's illegal to gamble. That exists for a specific reason. I have seen the destructive nature that gambling can have, not just on the gambler, but the gambler's family. Multiple different ways. I think gambling is illegal. It should be made illegal governmentally and institutionally. And I think loot boxes should be made not illegal, but 18 plus. And if you want to use loot boxes and you want to use sound mind people, I mean, naturally I can't vet that Bibby as an adult has gambling addictive qualities or not. I can't vet that as 2K. So if he wants to gamble, that's his prerogative. As an adult, he has to make that choice. I
think I've actually made this point on it before. Like, I got to a point where I wasn't a gambling addict, but I definitely could have gone down that route. Like, I was doing these £20 to 1,000 accumulators, but it got to a point where I lost like £80 on an accumulator because I built the bet up and I lost £80 and I was fucking mortified that I just bought £80 on something that I might have got £83 because it was a bet builder to get to £1,000. So I just blocked my account. I couldn't bet on it for 5 years.
Yeah,
but that a lot of people probably don't have that willpower. But
I think at that point, that's where that's not something that video games can fix. What video games can fix is by putting in restrictions, but I don't think that's even on video games. I think that's on the legislation around it because it's Take-Two. Has anyone seen the Tinder Swindler? There we go. On Netflix. Fucking absolute tangent. But it's not even Tinder Swindler. That's a different one. It's one called Puppet Master. If you've not watched that one on Netflix, it's really good, by the way. But I want no spoilers. You're watching this situation, and this guy technically, in a lot of ways, isn't breaking the law, but you know it's not right.
Yeah. And
that's kind of where these games companies are. They're not breaking the law, but it's also not quite right. So, and that's where it is. Like, we need to change the conversation there. So to do that, it is breaking the law. So that way, video game companies have everything black and white, no huge grey area to earn millions of profit, and then we can just move forward at that point. I think that's what works for me. Nice. Okay, let me jump back through the comments. That was a spicy meatball.
It was a spicy meatball.
Okay. Fuck. There's a lot of comments. Okay, I am missing quite a lot.
Hot debate.
Viking says this has happened to me. What's happened to you, Viking? What? Someone used your account to spend money? Do you know what? I am going to fast forward because there is a lot of comments. If you said something that was particularly spicy meatball, sorry that doesn't work in this studio timeless, but I appreciate you for trying. If anything that you said that you felt we missed on, or that is definitely worth repeating, feel free to repeat it again. We don't mind people repeating stuff in the chat, especially when we have so much conversation. But this is why I love this show. You guys are great at looking at both sides of the story and discussing the pros and cons of both, regardless of personal feeling. It's just difficult when you both feel the same way on something, and one of you's then got to take the shit side of the story and push it.
Well, again, I think that's something that me and you have to do. It's a responsibility for us to do because we have picked out people's comments in the chat to be able to do so as and when we've been able to in between our conversation. But you can't have just a one-sided debate when it comes to this stuff. Yeah. Again, it's play devil's advocate.
Shit. Yeah, the shit. All right,
move on.
Next news article then, please. Let's go. Thank you for joining the ICU Debate Club. Have a good day.
See you tomorrow.
Everything I say is important. I've seen Ben saying something. I'm obviously being facetious, but I genuinely think there's a big problem with this stuff. And while they're acting within the bounds of law, it's morally repugnant. Do you know? I agree. I agree. It's. Do you know what? Definitely watch the Puppet Master. Acting within the grounds of the law, but morally repugnant. I want to tell you more, but I don't want to spoilers and stuff. It's. That, while we're at it, ban gambling advertising in football. Yes. We banned Carling sponsors and Carlsberg and all that stuff. So, yes. Honestly, most nice. Would you like a Twitter? Most governments are so far behind the times in terms of legislation, it's unreal. I think it's the fact that digital moves so fast. Laws were always written for brick and mortar courtrooms and months of fucking knobheads in robes to go backwards and forwards and get paid shitloads of money while doing it. digital for the last 20 years, there is no way that law can keep up.
Yeah, I wonder what, like, obviously we're having this conversation, it could potentially be something at somewhere down the line where this sort of stuff comes in and it is hampering one side of people's consumption, but I wonder what most people's ideal world would look like in a world of technology. Like, do people want it to run back to, like, the PS2 days? Or is there exceptions to the rule? Because I genuinely struggle sometimes, and it's a world that I live in, it's a world that I work in, where you can find the balance in between, like the moral ground and the grey area. Like, where does it start and where does it begin? Like, where does it start? Where does it finish? Like, I feel like you can't have everything, but you can't have your cake and eat it. Is that the phrase I'm looking for?
Yes. Ish. Kind of. Like, we have so many advances in this modern world, but with great power comes great responsibility, and it's that sort of thing. Whereas, like, if you advance slowly, then you can build up you can weigh the consequences of your actions, and things that were developed and rolled out in a non-digital age took time because they had to physically be rolled out. And if we saw, actually, we just gave Bibby a pack of crayons, didn't think he was going to eat it, but he just full-on chewed his way through all of them. Okay, we'll take those crayons away from Bibby and make them non-toxic, and we can figure that shit out. Whereas in a digital world, it's like digital crayons, and Bibby's like chewed everything. It's like, fuck, it's not what we intended. Nice. Don't know where the fuck I was going with that analogy, but it kind of works. So we want the benefits of the future, but we want the securities of the past, and that's the thing with it's.
Ooh.
There you go.
Wait, what stream did you hear that one from, Graham?
Just now. I don't remember what I said though, so we want the benefits of the future, but the securities of the past.
There you go. Stick that in your bio, mate.
There you go.
Stick that in your Twitter bio.
Someone's going to go, actually, I think you find that you've heard that before.
Yeah, absolutely. Your brain Someone's running that in Google right now to find
your
out
brain
who said
thinks
that.
you've made it, but actually it was Spock on Star Trek. Whatever. So, yeah. Okay. Jumping back, Code Red had some comments. Said, give me taking a PS2 game with memory card around a friend's house. That was the golden era.
I agree.
Yes, please. He also said, playing Devil's Avocado, we were. And he also said, I'm praying the new Lego Star Wars doesn't have loot boxes or I'm in the mud. Next Gen Base says, actually, before that, where did we get to the... Honestly, most governments are so far behind in terms of legislation, it's unreal. Digital transactions are urgently looking at all over the world. And then... NGB says this a million times this. Companies are acting like they're without reproach. Fucking awful stuff. Remember surprise mechanics? Nope. Yes. My mum told me I was important, says Timeless. I know. So did we. You're very important. I think there are a lot of factors involved in how kids will think and make decisions, says Timeless. It's hard to say there is one answer, but that doesn't mean that responsible companies should not put safety precautions in place to limit the possibility of kids spending money that isn't... it's gone. There and is running up huge bill for their parents, but I also think it's down to the kids' parents to do everything in their power to teach and educate their kids on this. I mean, that's kind of it.
Yeah,
it shouldn't just be to the governments. We don't want nanny states. We don't want governments looking after us. But why aren't they looking after us?
Yeah.
And it needs to be give and take, and that's the thing. The government should full on be there to protect us, and that protect us isn't to stop us from doing stuff. It's to stop other people from taking the piss out of us, because we are. We can think for ourselves, but we are also programmable matter
we are
in
thick.
that sort of sense.
We are thick when it comes to things like that.
It's like fucking just if you can't eat it, smoke it, drink it, or screw it, we're not fucking bothered. I'll gamble on it, whatever. It's fucking people just one or the other kind of thing.
But I mean, I'd love to see a graph or see some kind of figures that. I feel like sometimes we just put the kids into the argument because that's something that everyone can be emotionally attached to. I'd love to know what the difference is between kids that are potentially using their parents' credit cards or whatever to over 18s and technically adults who are caught in this trap. Because I feel like the adults being caught in the trap outweighs the children in this argument 10 to 1 at least, because the value of what you could potentially put in as an adult into a video game is significant to what a child can.
I kind of agree, but I also kind of think maybe not, because adults will full on be like, kids will be going, okay, I've spent all of my 20 quid pocket money. Some adult will be going, I've just spent 200 quid that I didn't even fucking mean to. It was payday and I just went a bit stupid. Fuck. But that kid has spent 20 quid now, but that kid is going to be a more regular 200 quid because they've been groomed into this throwdown sort of like lifestyle.
I would have one opportunity to use my mum's card on a video game before I am being slippered to death.
I don't mean that though. I mean like say if I use 20 quid, boom, okay, that's my money gone. Fuck. But and then next month when I got a bit more pocket money saved up, I got 20 quid gone. I'm thinking more like, if that's me at 13 and I then spend 5 years groomed into spending money that I have, but it's all of the money that I've got. That's fine because I live at home and my mum's paying for my food and I'm walking to school and I don't have to pay for my childcare and this, that and the other. But then if I'm an 18-year-old that's suddenly gone, fuck off into the world again.
I'd still be living with my mum.
Yeah.
Because I bankrupted myself.
So, but it's like your mum's going, okay, I need rent. It's like, I'd give it you, but I've just done what I've done for the past 5 years and just spent the money that I had left over. And it's that learned behaviors, because it's nature versus nurture. We are 50% what we are born with and 50% what we learn as we dragged up through life. And if that 50% is, do you know what, fuck it, just throw your money away, don't save. Jack absolutely need another digital version of Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, fucker.
I wish.
Okay, fucker.
I wish.
But like, it's that sort of, so yes, the parents now are spending more, but those kids, you're setting them up to spend for a lifetime.
Potentially.
Yeah, but
again, this is all theoretical. Like we don't know. This is all. I do sometimes feel like when we're having conversations like this that they put the children in there because that's something that you can go, oh, we think of the children, like when they're older, what's this going to happen? And I do think that has much more of an effect than saying a 20-year-old has lost everything because they have gambled their life away. I do think it has. It's a charged argument, in my opinion, by putting a child behind
I think
it.
if you're talking about it in general, but with this specific one, it's about a minor not being protected. But yeah, if vulnerable adults are open to it, then do you know? I think the same thing. I think it should be. I mean, a vulnerable adult, be that an addict in terms of alcohol, be that any other form of vulnerability, should have. How can I put it? Not should have support, because not all of them have support. Ideally, they have support from their own personal network, be that family, be that carers, be that social workers, be that whatever, to help protect them from things. And that there's no reason that shouldn't really be there in video games as well. But it isn't there in video games because it's not gambling right now. So even if it's not kids but vulnerable adults, they aren't being signposted. There is no warnings that this game is dangerous. Whereas you will often, if you go to hotel rooms, see on fridges that they'll say this bar contains alcohol, ring reception if you want us to remove it, because they know some people that are recovering alcoholics will be sat there in a hotel room, they'll see a minibar and go.
Arguably though, the other side of the coin, if you are talking about a video game's sense, should that bar be there in the first place in your room?
Well,
should it be unstocked, and then if you do want it, then you can phone to bring it up? Why should that already be there for someone to potentially fall off if they're
It's the same thing as a shop front in a video game. It's teasing. It's legal teasing.
Of course it is. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, if that's already there in your room and you are. Do they have AA for spending money in video game? Probably not, because like you say, it's not classed as gambling yet. But
do you know, I would be highly surprised if it doesn't incorporate that. Like, because there is Gambling Anonymous, like there is Gamblers Anonymous. I wouldn't be surprised if those, like, not say will be open to. I wouldn't be surprised if there are video game gamblers that are sat in these groups.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they probably get as horrible as it sounds, they probably get laughed out of the room. What are you in for? Spent £13,000 on Bet365. What are you in for? Spent £200 on FIFA coins and I'm fucked. Like, but it's still the same thing. They've still lost money on something that's technically. Well,
I think Fredo should be 10p again. Me too.
Yes, that's something I can get behind. Get the petition signed.
# mortgage for Fredos.
But yeah, it is a weird world that we do live in, where you can technically give something of your real money that's in your coin purse, and then potentially only get something that's in a digital format. I mean, The people spending £7,000 on their NFTs, fucking mind blowing. But
well, that's it. Most people that get into gambling aren't doing it for the money; they're doing it for the buzz, and the buzz, the buzz is irrelevant if it's digital or physical at the end of it, kind of thing.
I still remember getting a first legend card on Pro Evo. Like that's fucking that thrill, that buzz when it happens is fucking great. But again,
it was when you were expecting to like get the 5 legends and Babangida, and you get fucking Oliver Kahn first.
3 years in a row.
Fuck off! No! Nice. Okay. Let's jump back into the room then. I know 2 people who attended the gambling addiction type clinic for gaming related addiction. Yeah, see, I wouldn't. I'm not surprised. If you walked into the co-op and bought 800 quid worth of scratch cards, then again the next day someone will flag that up. You don't have that safety net.
Really?
Digital purchases.
Is that true?
Yeah. Not they can refuse. I remember when I worked in a newsagent's, we got not. It wasn't so much a, how can I put this? Some shops would probably just do it anyway because some shops need to take as much money in as they can. But we were always encouraged that if there was someone that looked like they were going beyond their means or spending recklessly, to not necessarily turn them down, but kind of like ask supportive questions, which was always awkward as fuck because 18-year-old me going, all right, 30-year-old man, are you sure you can spend this money? Get the fuck out of here, kid.
That's it, you get punched right in the face.
But there is that sort of stuff in there. Bateson says Khan is greater than fuck you. Hey, this is the man that sat here and broke fucking the very first My Club because he wanted Manuel Neuer. Wasn't he like the very last black ball in the Champions League agent or something? It's like, how are you getting on with your Champions League agents? Yeah, I got every single player within it because I wanted Neuer and he was the last one.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, good old days when you didn't get dupes and stuff like that. See that?
No, I hated that because people would just farm.
Well,
that used to send me under that. I mean, not to say that I didn't do it myself with the old PS Vita downstairs in the front room. Do you know what I mean? I got all the hacks, but still, like farming stuff.
How's the hat anyway, Bateson?
Yeah, I may have snuck a screen grab of that.
Yeah, we're absolutely using you for our own social media purposes. Fine, it's fine. Where's your hats? What the fuck? I've done my hair today. Look,
so have I as well.
We've both had haircuts this week.
Fucking -1 this morning when I left the house. I was like, oh my god, go get me bob hat. Same.
There was a couple who used to come into one of our stores who were targeted by a scam crew who kept telling them they had a debt and needed to lay it off with credit. When we found out, when we found this out, we reported to HQ and reported to police. They brought in a rule where we had to ask every customer if the credit was for them and if they knew what it was for as well. Had to limit the amount per customer. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a bit extreme, that though, isn't it? Like in terms of the scam stuff.
Because definitely, I couldn't have. I don't think I could have asked every customer, "Can you afford this, mate?" That'd send me under a bit. That.
I mean, there is. I suppose it's what's the word? There's a word like not ethical lending, but maybe
responsible.
It probably is responsible lending. Loan companies, rather than doing would you want a loan that's 7 million%? Can you afford to pay?
That's what happened with Wonga. They ended up going out of business because of it.
But that whole thing kicked off. That whole thing, like, are you sure you can do this? Are you sure you know all the repercussions? But the same thing with like what Ben was saying. You don't get that "are you sure" sort of thing with video games because it's not illegal. It's just a boat. Let's go.
Yeah.
I used to get shamed by the shopkeeper after buying polos every day. Surely it wouldn't be hard for game companies to show what you spent, warn you when gambling in games. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that sort of stuff should be there anyway, but I think
flash up after £100. You've spent £100 this month.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see those sort of things. That should be first party for me. First parties themselves should be going, you do realise, as well as third parties. So PlayStation's, Steam's, and Xboxes and so on should do that. But yeah, before we get to that point, governmentally, it should be a case of segregating. So you buying your polos, you know what you're getting for your money. You are buying polos. You're not going up to the till, putting a quid there and go, "Can I have the polos?" And the guy goes, "No." What about you walk off again without your quid? Fuck!
What about then if they took out loot boxes altogether, but you could buy that nice shiny player, man of the match, Kevin De Bruyne, after scoring 2 goals in the Manchester derby, or alternatively you can put Riyad Mahrez in there for £20 per card. Is that still ethical?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, is that ethical? No, because you're going to get a bajillion versions of him. Does something of that vein work? Yes. Do I know what that system is? No. And that's why we're in this problem. If someone came to EA and said, okay, get rid of loot boxes and here's a script that will work, you'll still earn shitloads, but you won't rip people off. EA will be like, oh, nice. But there's no real way of doing that without being like, we were just yesterday, we're going 40 quid for one car in Gran Turismo. We know that's bullshit, especially when they were 5 quid last year. And that's kind of where the trade-off is how do you make that work? If there was a way that made that work that wasn't as predatory, then we'd have that everywhere now, but nobody has quite figured that out. Yeah, exactly. But then again, I mean, Call of Duty got rid of loot boxes, put in battle passes, and realised that people's spending, and the COD Point shop kind of thing, and realised that people's spending actually went up overall. You weren't just relying on the few.
Yeah, you were getting £7 a month, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly. So nice. Ban, we've got Babinho.
Oh, that works.
Sorry, get out of here. Where did we get to? We didn't say to the customer, are you sure you know what this is for? To be honest, it was obviously, if the customer knew what it was for, Christmas, it was a joke. With that pay-to-win model, they would surely create more cards so that your £20 card becomes obsolete even sooner.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. But I mean, again, devil's advocate, at least you get something for your money. But that's the whole practice. That's what most of these arguments are based on. The fact that you are spending money into a game that potentially might not get what you want, and there is a timeline to be able to use them. But if you know what you're spending your money on, does that make it any different? Does that make the argument any safer?
See, for me it does, because you're still encouraging more responsible spending. And like some kids will go into a shop and buy a Mars bar that they can't afford because they've got the money there. And that could be dangerous behaviour because you spent the money on a Mars bar. What the fuck? I thought I was falling then. I was like getting ready to see. Do you see my fucking ninja reactions? I've broken him. What the fuck? I thought he was falling off the table. I went like this.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we're getting new ones. I'm so glad because these are on their last legs.
Fuck.
There's just no resistance left in it. I had to get some pliers to do this.
What's your watch?
I had to get some pliers to keep this up. Jesus.
Yeah. Do you know what? We should just fucking put the new ones in sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. You got with broken microphones at some point.
So I keep leaning. That's why I'm sitting over here, but then my face is over there. So I tried to turn it around and it went nope. So I keep moving back around to it again. I don't even remember what I was saying.
I can't. But, I mean, like, we're definitely not going to be getting all 5 of these articles done today. We are an hour, well, yeah, we'll call it an hour into this podcast already, give or take, for the countdown screens and stuff.
Okay, we will just give you a little bit of a round-up. Do you know what?
Should we just do the GTA one, and the rest of them we can just shelve for tomorrow in case it's shit news or something?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I'll jump back through the final comments then, see if there's anything that I missed before I ninja reactioned. I genuinely thought that was
fantastic. That was fantastic. Oh, catches win matches.
Spreading the loot boxes across passes easily allows for more guaranteed income from the audience, allows for people to get a perceived added value. ICU Studio HSE incoming. I don't know what HSE stands for.
Health and safety.
Okay, there you go. What's the E for?
Is the person who comes in inspection? Or is it? But obviously, it's not because inspection isn't spelled with an E.
Executive inspection.
Yeah, I mean, that the people who come in HSE, people who come in and make sure that the lights are in the roof, the mics are on the stands.
Health and executive. There you go.
Oh, nice work.
If you know and you can see what you're getting, I guess it's not classed as gambling, so it makes it a bit. Oh, that's what we're talking about. It was about Mars bars. If a kid went and bought a Mars bar, they might have spent their bus fare and have to walk home in the rain, which is bad for the health because all sorts of shit. But it's still a guaranteed return on the investment. There's no duping a kid into spending their money and having nothing left, with the chance, the hope that they would be in a better financial situation, or a better living situation at the end of it, kind of thing. And that's what it is. It's preying on the weak minds and hope. So yeah, get rid. Keep going longer. Sprinkles are good. Fit all the stories in. Lotus only needs 82k to get to your mod application denial. Nice. State of play confirmed for tomorrow. Beer King news. I'm hoping you meant to write Beer King, because if that was supposed to be breaking and it's changed to Beer King, then that's the best autocorrect I've ever seen. Fucking Timeless is getting shit-faced during that. Beer King news.
Oh, it's next gen. It was Ben.
Oh, Ben. Oh, okay, there we go. I thought it was Timeless. It looked the same orange on my screen, but it's not. Boo. Do you know what? Timeless is still getting shit-faced anyway, because that's what Timeless does through a state of play. So,
big fan. Huge.
I mean to say Beer King. Boo. I guess Walking Dead. I guess Walking good for them. The rain's not, but the Mars tastes good. Well, there you go. You got to work it off, I suppose. You know, all those extra sugars and shit. Okay, we're gonna move ahead into our final news story of all 5 today. We made it through 2.
What a day.
Nice. I need to change our pips. Let's move us over to this side. We'll go up. GTA 5 for new gen consoles will be 50% off at release. Nice. Australian pre-orders are now live, revealing discounts available for 3 months. So the first pricing details. Actually, I'll move us. We'll go down because we're in the way. The first pricing details for the Xbox Series XS and PS5 versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 have been revealed, with the game set to release with an introductory 50% discount. While Rockstar hasn't officially communicated new gen pricing details ahead of the game's release on March the 15th, pre-purchasing is available from March the 8th, which has now arrived in Australia, revealing how much the title will cost.
That's tomorrow?
It's today.
Is it today?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just that Australia 12 hours ahead into it kind of thing, so this was written yesterday.
Oh, okay.
As with previously released versions of the game, GTA 5 on Xbox and PS5 includes access to Grand Theft Auto Online. However, the game will also be released alongside a new standalone version of GTA Online. Updates! PS5 owners will only have to spend £8.75 or $9.99, whereas Xbox Series X and S owners will have to spend double at $17.49/$19.99. Stick that up your exclamation mark, Game Pass.
Oh my god, I shouldn't laugh too hard. The fanboys will be coming for me.
Original story continues. On Xbox Series X and S, the Xbox Australia website lists GTA 5 50% off at $16.50 until June the 14th, when the price will increase to £33. Woo. There is obviously other figures within that, but I'm just going to quote the British ones. And the Xbox website lists the new standalone version of Grand Theft Auto Online as being on sale for the Xbox Series X and S for $15.48. That's Australian dollars. While the PlayStation website page for GTA 5 has yet to be updated with pricing details, it's likely Sony will offer a similar discount. We'll stop there because we already know that PlayStation 5 owners will have to spend £8, whereas Xbox owners will have to spend £17.50, basically. £8.75 versus £17.49. Interesting. Which news story was this? 2?
Yes.
3?
No.
4? There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's how much of a show we had today.
Yeah. Nice. So, okay, babe.
Yes.
Next in GTA, 50% off at launch for everyone that owns a PlayStation.
Am I buying it?
Are you buying it?
Absolutely again. I mean, I'm dipping in again. This will be like the 5th copy that I've got. I've probably equalled the amount of copies of Skyrim that I've had with this game. But again, it's a fantastic game. And do I want to play the story, the campaign again on a better console than what I did on the PlayStation 4? Absolutely, I want to go through this campaign again, as well as be jumping into the online stuff for about 10 minutes before people just keep on killing me and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But £10, sorry, it's less than £10. It's less than £9. £8.75 to be able to play Grand Theft Auto on my PS5. I am probably part of the problem because I will be buying this again, as will the millions of other people. We will continue to keep Grand Theft Auto 5 in the charts for the 10th year
next
running.
12 years.
Yeah. So when it's a game as good as this, then of course we're going to end up wanting to play it at the best that we can potentially buy. My PlayStation 5 is a much better gaming platform than my PC is at the moment, so if I want to play it the very best that I can, PS5 baby, and that's the way it's going to be.
I kind of... Do I want to play it again? Yes. Will I play it again? I'm not sure, because Timeless has just asked, Graham, have you played any Cyberpunk yet? Have I played anything other than PUBG for the last 3 months? No.
I love at the end of the year, when it gives you like your game roundup and it says that you've spent 7,000 hours playing PUBG, but then that 4 hours playing
because PlayStation, like Xbox will do it, and you get your Spotify Wrapped. PlayStation's just like PlayStation burp, and it's like brain farts it out. It's like you've played more than 7 minutes of PUBG this year, and I know. But what did I actually fucking... So yeah, God knows. We'll see. So yeah, I like this. Do you know what I don't like? Is the all over the place attitude from Rockstar. Like, we got one game free on Xbox Game Pass, which was like GTA Vice City or San Andreas or something like that. I think it was Vice City. One of the best games, if not the best game, definitively the best soundtrack. And San Andreas has an absolute banger of a soundtrack, by the way.
Absolutely.
But that one's free on Game Pass. Then we got GTA 3 free on PlayStation Now. All 4 users of PlayStation Now got that access to that. So it's like, okay, we give some of the best games to Xbox here, and now we give a bigger discount to PlayStation users. Just give everyone everything. God damn. I think it just would be better for everyone. San Andreas on Xbox and 3 on PS Now. Okay, there you go. Nice one. Cheers for that. And Grand Theft Auto 5 Next Gen just bumped up textures and resolution. Yeah, but it's got to be loading times as well, right? Because when we got the PS5s first released, we got all sorts of upgrades to a bunch of games, and GTA was in that as well. So you've got to feel like SSDs and so on will change that. So those 72 hours that you spend waiting for your race to start in GTA Online will only be 71 hours now. So there's those benefits too. Who's that handsome bastard with the red hair?
That's a shagger right here.
Do you know Analyze Boxing?
Yeah, is that Ryan? SAFC?
Do we have to pronounce it that slowly? Ryan.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember the.
Yes, he's from Yorkshire now. I thought it was.
Yes,
I thought it was from the northeast. Yes, brother.
Yes.
In GTA 5, I've done that one. No, they have apparently added details in the article, I believe. Is there?
Did we cut it too soon?
Maybe they did. Let me have a quick look. Rockstar provide new details about the PS5, including 3 graphics modes for players to choose from. They include fidelity mode for the highest visual quality, performance modes.
See, that's 2 different things for me. It's adding 3 different packages, but it's not actually telling you exactly what it is that they're going to be upscaling. I imagine that obviously the textures will go 4K and stuff, and it'll look great. But like, what is going to be 4K? Like, show me like what you did with the giant donut in San Andreas. Not San Andreas. Yeah, it was San Andreas, isn't it? The big donut that should be nuts and bolts.
And they made it smooth.
And they made it smooth around. Like, I want to see graphic comparisons like that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Because like, okay, 4K 60. Oh no, it's probably going to be what do they usually get? 4K 30 or 1080 60 is you choose from. Whereas that's got 3 modes: a performance mode, a fidelity mode, and the most responsive gameplay experience. So what's that? Is that 1080 120 or something like that? Like super fast responsive.
See, I'd probably go for 4K 30. I want to see it the best it could potentially be.
My gut instinct is to agree. That said, like when I put PUBG on my TV and I dropped it down to 4K 30 FPS, it was like, look how good it is when I stand still, and then when I move, it's like,
you know what? I never thought I'd actually feel the FPS, and I'm not ashamed to say this, but the first time that I actually felt the FPS difference was playing Fortnite. I don't know why, it just felt so much different. I mean, it's probably because I played most of my Fortnite on my Nintendo Switch, and then I played it again on my PlayStation 5, and I'm getting a stupid frame rate on that, and it's like, oh, you know what? It doesn't feel like I'm running in. It doesn't feel like I'm trudging through mud or anything like that. But yeah, I feel like if I wanted to play it on 1080 60, I'd just install it now on my PlayStation. I'd just play the version that I've got now, and it'll be good to go. I want to see what it looks like in 4K. Like, see what the difference actually is. Like, I want to see side by side comparisons. I want to feel it. Los Santos.
I was about to say La Cabrera, but that's another PUBG fucking place.
He's got another mind.
His name is Big Hamish. I don't know, but it might not be looking good for 2K because WWE is supposedly in talks with EA, according to Fightful, and they are very reliable for behind-the-scenes news. They are the ones who broke the mass firings over the last couple of years before they happened. I hope not, because this WWE's it's looking fucking good.
Yeah,
obviously, it's still super early days, so I don't want to commit to saying it's a great game just yet. But it's looking good. So I would hate to see all of that work that Visual Concepts has been put in just be like, and it's gone.
Yeah,
that'd be disappointing. Any of you had a try of Elden Ring? Apparently, it's a 10 out of 10 from some reviewers. I think IGN gave it a 10 or a 9. Most reviewers have given it. It was like at 97 on Metacritic, at least for most of the launch weekend. I don't know if it still is up there, but if you're into a Souls game, then it's gonna be fucking exceptional for you. Literally, I don't know anyone that's open to that kind of game that doesn't give it a 10 out of 10. I'm not that kind of a game player, so I'm not going to touch it. But yeah, a bunch of people would full on swear. So if you've played Dark Souls and you like it, then you'll 100% like that. I've been watching a lot of Elden Ring, even though it's not my typical game to watch. I've really enjoyed watching it. See, I just see hashtag Bibby game as soon as I turn it on. That's like I was talking to Bibby about it the other day. Longbows, super shields, and fucking.
You know what the actual universe, the lore or whatever it is that you want to say, the setting of the game is definitely a Bibby game, but. I'll be fucked if I'm sat there playing the same boss for 5 hours and not getting anywhere like that. That would just be pad against the wall, like PlayStation out the window. I cannot deal with that kind of stuff.
Is it intensive though? Anyone that's played it? Because like I was having a conversation with Nietzsche the other day. I've got a 1080 Ti, which is a superb graphics card. It doesn't have ray tracing, but if you put that up alongside other graphics cards like the 30s and something like that, it's still close. But I'm just not sure. I think my PC, like with like playing stuff like that at top spec, would just be like, ah.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine if you dropped it down to 720, played it like that, that would be fantastic.
Played it on a Game Boy. Honestly, baby, since getting into PC gaming, I won't settle for anything under 60. I know I've become a snob, but can't beat the buttery smoothness.
Listen, if you can afford it, and that's the best way to be able to play it, fuck it, do it.
Do you know? That's the key thing. I remember having a conversation with Enix, aka Jordan, who used to be part of ICU, still joins us on stream and social a lot. He was the one that first. Had a
Can you hear that, by the way?
What is it?
It sounds like someone just throwing plates on the floor or something. It sounds like there's a kitchen next door. It's not. It just sounds like someone just throwing a load of plates on the floor.
Well, I was looking at getting a 4K monitor, and Jordan was like, honestly, what, like, you don't want a 4K monitor. Unless you're going massive, you don't want a 4K monitor. Get 1080p and go for your extra frames. Get high hertz. So I was like, okay. I was thinking, but this was like 4 years ago when everyone's going, 4K is brand new. And I'm like, 4K, PlayStation Pro, PS4 Pro, 4K, yeah! And then I looked into it and it's like, no, anything that's less than 28-inch TV screen size, obviously it's a little bit different now because the costs for 4K are starting to come down. But you get 1080p, 240 hertz, you're fucking looking at magic kind of thing. What?
Say that to the massive TV.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, you want to see what? Do you know what?
No, we can't.
Spoilers. Do you know what? We'll start sharing images of the upgrades. Do you know what? It's not what we were just talking about, but I will confirm that we have bought some, and our friends at Elgato's have given us some low-profile mic arms. So my floppy arm and my catch of doom, and Bibby speaking into his microphone like he's The Rock, it's going to be a thing of the past. Because we do have low-profile mic arms, but we have some fucking amazing plans for this studio. I know, and every content creator thinks their stuff is the best, which it's their stuff. Naturally, they're going to think that. But we are really proud of our setup, even though it's not quite right. See the fact that like that screen says the scoop and the edge of it's not on the screen, whereas that screen says more like :oop because it's not on the screen because it doesn't quite fit in, and like we're not perfectly happy with it. We have plans to make it look good, so we're not only just taking our studio and making it better, we are taking our studio and full on boys toys in it. It's fucking
the only thing that I can compare it to is it's not going to be like a streamer house, so it's not going to be like what ours is at home, where we have a very 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 good setup for it being streaming behind a desk, but this is a studio. Like we want to take this up to a notch that ITV and BBC where they do Match of the Day and stuff. We want to take it to that level, so it'll be completely different of what someone's going to be like in their house. This will be like big shiny lights, different backdrops and stuff like that. So it's going to be
big things.
It's going to be a bit wild, but as I said, there is going to be a lot of teething issues when it comes to putting us tech because there is so many wires, so much tech going into this. So the scoops will be stopping. Did we have a date?
Well, starting. I've just put starting week commencing next week. Some of the stuff is due to be coming next Monday. Okay, so we are changing the back walls. I won't say what it's going to be, but we are changing the back walls, and that's coming next Monday, I think.
Right.
So or next Tuesday. So from then, we can't get in because we will lose the walls and shit, and then there'll be wire exposure and everything. And
all the light from behind through the windows and stuff. So yeah, as of next week, the midweek scoops will probably be ceasing for the time being. So Monday and Friday, so it's just dropping down to 2 days.
I mean, Wednesday when I'm at home, you could just like.
Oh, I've done laptop ones before, Anna. So.
Sit in the room upstairs and just sit there with a brew, laptop in your hand, camera just perched on top. It was good. Get the old Logitech C920 stuck on the top of it.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it's going to look a lot different around here, and it's something that I'm super excited about. Putting it all together and then pulling my hair out because I don't know what the fuck I've plugged in.
I'm really excited to see what it looks like once you finish putting it together for me. Nice.
Well, what I don't
I'm
do properly.
but I mean it. Where do we get it? Played it until 4 a.m. this morning. What, WWE? Or are we still talking Elden Ring there? I don't know. It's God. God damn it. WWE. Nice. And do you know what? I'm actually getting into Elden Ring. I don't know who I am anymore. Who are you?
Who are you?
Where are you? It's well intense. Oh, it's a fucking mess on PC. Great. Is it? Oh, interesting. I thought that would have been where it would have been solid. I know there has been a lot of questions about how optimized it is. Is that what it is then? Is that like, I thought that, I didn't know whether that was a game dev thing in general or if that's a PC dev thing. Because there was something was half talking about the other day about like UI shit or something, and you were saying it looks like a mobile game.
Yeah, someone put it in it might have been Timeless actually put it in our Discord and said it does look like a mobile game. There's so much information on there with button prompts and stuff. It just looks a bit.
Bloodborne is still my favourite Souls game, but Elden Ring is seriously giving it a run for its money. Elden Ring is a bit broken at the moment. The day one patch made it worse for PC. Oh, really? J&K says, yes, share. Not yet. So, do you know what? We will share. Before all of that happens, we'll start to post some images of the stuff that we have upgrades-wise for the studio on social media and within the Discord and stuff. So we will start to show you what we've got. Fucking... yeah. I'll tell you at that point in time. I don't want to keep doing that. Oh, you want to see. But you want to see. I was buying a monitor at the time, and I remember you saying that Graham went for a 1080 with a high frame rate and 144 hertz instead. Best decision. Yeah, I went for 1080 240 hertz, like absolute future proofing. Didn't need to do that. If you go for 1080 144 hertz, your eyes are just going to be thanking you for days, mate. Do you know what? Go for anything. If you can go for 75 hertz, 100 hertz, whatever, the higher you can go within finance, then yeah. If unless you're playing on a 32-inch screen, then you don't really need the 4K. If you have to make the decision, I would recommend hertz rather than 4K. I'm expecting the rock intro, lights, smoke entrance graphics, a lot of special effects as well. If you want to see that, go to the OG Snowflake. We raided him yesterday, and fucking he's like,
how his smoke alarm don't go off, I don't know.
Do we get upgrades to the host as well? As personally, I think they're a bit outdated and should just be replaced.
I've heard some shit in my time, Tito. Get him out of here.
Honestly.
Ban Tito.
Honestly. Goes around repping his ICU hat they didn't even pay for. And he wants to change the hosts. Honestly. Get him out. Take it up to the next level. To BBC or ITV stands. Hire Desmond Lyman to introduce with an intro.
That would be amazing. I'd love Des Lyman to come. He's still knocking around, is it, Des Lyman?
I think so. I hope so.
I know. I've missed that memo.
I'm just here for the ice cream and drugs. Nice. The drugs are in the ice cream. It's fine. Okay. That UI image is a piss take. It's really sparse. That's someone's mock-up of how people are claiming to want it. What the fuck?
Wow.
Studio looks sick anyways. Exactly. And that's it. There's so much that we can do, and there's so much more that we want to do. It's like, the studio is good. It's just, it's good to sit and look at. It's good if if, like, you can't see it, there's a production area over there. If Bibby was sat in that production area, we'd have more functions. He could control what appears on the screens, the way that the lights change, he could change them. So we could fucking full-on WWE Kane entrance, like lights down, big red up lights, and but we can't do that from here, and there's all sorts of other things. So we're trying to make it just a bit more, like, we want to keep it professional studio like it is, but we also want to... There's a difference between a streamer setup, which where you run everything from just a stream deck, and a full studio. We want to make it look studio, but have a bit more functionality as we go too. So, yeah, we're not going to get full functionality because it is still a broadcast studio rather than a streamer setup. But yeah, that's it. Okay, sorry, Cheeto, you're out of here. Go on, get rid. Get going.
Goodbye.
Plus, you can shoot porn in your downtime. Well, there's that too.
Yep.
There's that too. I mean, why do you think we've got such a sturdy desk? I mean, how many times as our plumbing and printers got... Oh, there's looks like you've got a jam.
Something about 2 dicks being on screen at all times anyway in there.
On that bombshell, thank you very much, everyone, for dropping in. We appreciate you very, very much. Oh, shit. Fuck me, I'm breaking things. God damn. If you missed it, we did pass 3,000 followers the other day, and it's kept going. It's kept going. We're now 3,011 followers. Fuck, god damn.
I know, still going, still climbing.
So if you are new here, if you're lurking, if you've never spoken in the chat before, we appreciate anyone that's just new to the channel. If you've been here a long time, we appreciate you too. Thank you very much for the continued support. It means the fuck ton. I was going to say something nice, but fuck tons. That's what it means. It means fuck tons. You know, we appreciate it very, very much. Just to remind you that we have multiple streams ongoing this week. There is a small chance, not guaranteed, there is a small chance that I may fumble my way through WWE tonight on stream.
Hello.
I've not mentioned that to Bibby before now, by the way. That's the first time he's just found out. There is a small chance because I have to drive home from Blackpool to Manchester, eat food, see family and stuff like that. So it might not happen. So don't rely on that. However, if that doesn't happen, there will be a stream tomorrow night. I will be playing PUBG on stream with the Triggermeister himself, Mr. iLotus UK. So if you do want to see some PUBG, definitely join us tomorrow night. And as that's happened, Lumps dropping 32 more bitties. Woo!
Legend.
Spicy meatball. Thank you very much, Lumps. We appreciate all your bitties. Nice.
Nice.
Do you know, if you carry on at this rate, you'll be unlocking one of the bit emotes. Not many people have access to the bit emotes. If you carry on, you'll be getting. Do you know? Let's see if I can share them in the chat. We don't tend to show them off that much because we don't want to pressure people into them. But we have the hero. Where is it? Can't find it. Can't scroll. There you go. The hero, the golden GG, and the golden Stay Frosties. Oosh. Yeah. There you go. So if you carry on, you'll be unlocking those bad boys soon. There may be a stream tomorrow morning containing some WWE. Just saying. Nice. Timeless.
Nice.
24 WWE stream hype. 24 hour, I was going to say. 24 streams. Maybe over time. 24 hours. I mean, if I could just do 13 and a half hours without even trying, 24 hours. I mean,
well, I definitely 110%. I've just got confirmation. Sunday morning.
Oh, what, WWE?
Yep. Ooh. Absolutely. So there's no Friday one this week, but Sunday morning, that's when we'll be going live with some WWE action for the first, well, potentially, if you don't go tonight, for the first time this year. So I haven't really gone through the menus yet, so I don't actually know what
you've done more than I have. I installed it, updated, and then was ill, as everyone could tell from my voice yesterday with the very wide bad time finished. So yeah, fun times. So yeah, potentially WWE tonight. If not, we'll have PUBG on Saturday night, PUBG Wednesday night, PUBG Saturday morning, and then WWE Sunday morning. So there is 3 gameplay streams coming this week, as well as the scoop every day. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, every weekday. But that's it. We are going to wrap things up. Do stick around. We're going to drop a raid on one of our friends. So it's nice to help out our buddies. There's probably going to be someone live, so do feel free to stick around for the raid. Not only do we get to help them on their streaming journey, but you also get at least 250 sprinkles that you can spend in our channel using the channel points. So do make sure you stick around. Nice. Before that happens, though, Mr. Bibb, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, sorry, I just swallowed a yawn then. My eyes are watering a bit. Again, thank you very much to each and every one of you that have joined us for today's episode of The Scoop. You guys have helped shape this show, so if you want to help shape the remaining 3 shows, there's 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. All the links that you require will be listed in the chat, or alternatively, if you're watching this on any of our on-demand services, go into the description below. All the links that you require will be listed there. But all we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
10 a.m.
Ish.
We do work in the video games industry, so the streams fit in around that, which is why we are live at 23 minutes to 4 in the afternoon, and we, as this show is going live at 10 a.m. It is what it is. Tomorrow will probably be a little bit earlier than today's show, but no promises. No promises. No promises. Nice. See you at 6 a.m. Let's go. So yeah, do stick around. We are probably going to drop a raid on Nacho.
Is he on?
Yeah, because we played. I don't know if we've read him this week, and we played games with him on Saturday. So we'll go Red Nacho. Nice. You probably all got him open on the second tab anyway, but we'll go Red Gaming Nacho. So do stick around for that. We, though, are done. We appreciate you for being around. You're all beautiful people. Until next time, have a beautiful day. And I can't find the end slate, and now I found it. And remember,
stay frosty.